John Cena is signing autographs when he sees her. 7 years old, hospital gown hanging loose on her tiny frame, bald head covered by a bright pink beanie. She's holding a worn WWE Championship belt toy, clutching it like a lifeline. When she speaks, her voice is barely a whisper. "Mr. Cena, you're my last wish." What happens in the next 3 minutes doesn't just grant one child's final request. It transforms John Cena's understanding of what it means to be a hero. Tampa, Florida, November 2006. St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. The Pediatric Oncology Wing on the 4th floor. Tuesday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. The hallways smell of antiseptic and hope mixed with heartbreak. Soft lighting, careful footsteps, distant beeping of machines keeping small bodies fighting. Cena is here for a routine Make-A-Wish visit. 45 minutes scheduled. Meet 5 kids, take photos, sign autographs, spread some joy, leave. Standard protocol. Cena is 29 years old, peak of his career trajectory. WWE champion for 6 months running. Monday Night Raw's top star. Millions watching every week. To kids across America, he's Superman in jean shorts and a baseball cap. But these hospital visits, they're different. Here, the cheering stops. Here, the performance becomes real. He walks into the common room. Bright colors painted on walls to mask the institutional reality. Cartoon characters smiling down at children who've seen too much. Too young. 5 families wait. Parents with that specific exhaustion that comes from months of medical procedures, sleepless nights, and prayers whispered in hospital chapel pews. The first 4 meetings go exactly as planned. Tommy, age 8, leukemia in remission, wants to arm wrestle. Cena lets him win, sells it like WrestleMania. Sarah, 10, brain tumor, wants to know if Cena's muscles are real. He flexes. She pokes his bicep. Giggles for the first time in weeks, according to her mother. Marcus, 6, wants to teach Cena his favorite joke. Why don't dinosaurs clap? Because they're extinct. Cena laughs like it's the funniest thing he's ever heard. Each interaction is genuine. Cena isn't performing, he's connecting. These kids don't care about his wrestling persona. They need hope, strength, proof that good people exist in their world of needles and chemotherapy. Then he sees Emma. She's sitting alone in the corner, away from the group. 7 years old, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, stage 4. The information was in his briefing packet, but seeing her makes the statistics real. She weighs maybe 40 pounds. Her hospital gown hangs like a tent. The pink beanie covers her bald head, but wisps of hair that survived chemotherapy peek out around the edges. Dark circles under eyes that should be bright with childhood wonder. In her lap, she holds a toy WWE Championship belt. Not the new merchandise, but an older version, worn from constant handling. The gold plastic is scratched, the leather cracked from thousands of tiny fingers gripping it during difficult moments. Cena approaches slowly, kneels down to her level, makes eye contact. "Hey there, champion. What's your name?" "Emma." Her voice is soft, requires effort. "Emma Rodriguez." "That's a beautiful name, Emma. I'm John. I know who you are." She holds up the toy belt. "You're the champion. You never give up." Something in her tone stops him. Not excitement, not fan enthusiasm. Something deeper. Something that recognizes the weight of those words. Never give up. His catchphrase, his brand, his message to millions. But here, with this child, it means something different. Survival. "You watch Raw?" Cena asks. Emma nods. "Every Monday. Daddy watches with me. He says you're tough like me." Cena looks over at her father. Miguel Rodriguez, early 30s, construction worker based on his calloused hands and sun-weathered skin. He's holding a hospital coffee cup that's gone cold hours ago. His wife sits beside him, rosary beads twisted through her fingers, lips moving in silent prayer. "Your daddy's right," Cena tells Emma. "You are tough. Tougher than me." Emma shakes her head seriously. "No, you're the strongest. That's why." She pauses, looks at her toy belt, then back at Cena. "That's why you're my last wish." The words hit like a physical blow. Last wish. Not final wish in the Make-A-Wish sense. Last wish in the other sense. The sense that makes hospital staff speak in gentle tones and parents cry in bathroom stalls. Cena keeps his expression steady, professional, but inside something shifts. He's done hundreds of these visits, met thousands of sick children, but something about Emma, about the way she said last wish, breaks through his emotional defenses. Emma, he says carefully, what would make you happy right now? What can I do for you? She considers this with the seriousness only children facing mortality can manage. Can you teach me to be brave? The question stops everything. The room goes quiet. Other families, hospital staff, everyone senses something important is happening. Teach you to be brave. Cena repeats. Emma nods. The doctors say I have to have another surgery tomorrow. A big one. Daddy says I need to be brave, but I don't know how. You're never scared in the ring. Can you teach me your secret? Cena feels the weight of every eye in the room. Parents who've been fighting this battle for months. Children facing their own fears. Medical staff who've seen too many small victories and devastating losses. Emma is asking for more than an autograph or photo opportunity. She's asking for actual help. He takes her tiny hand in his massive one. Emma, can I tell you something? Something I've never told anyone before. She nods, eyes wide with attention. I get scared all the time. Before every match, my stomach hurts. My hands shake. Sometimes I want to run away instead of walking through those curtains. Emma looks confused. But you always win. You're the champion. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared, Cena explains. Being brave means you do the right thing even when you are scared. You've been braver than me every single day since you got sick. I cry sometimes, Emma admits quietly. Champions cry, Cena says. I cry too. Crying doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Emma considers this. Will you cry if I don't make it? The question hangs in the air like smoke. Cena feels his throat tighten, feels tears threatening, but he keeps his voice steady. Emma, you know what I believe? I believe fighters find a way to win, and you're the biggest fighter I've ever met. Bigger than Undertaker? Cena laughs, genuine and warm. Way bigger than Undertaker. Undertaker never had to be brave like you. Emma smiles for the first time. Small but real. Can I have your autograph? Of course. Cena signs her toy championship belt, but instead of just his name, he writes, to Emma, the real champion. Never give up. Your friend, John Cena. As he hands it back, Emma says, will you come to my surgery tomorrow? I'll be braver if you're there. Cena's schedule flashes through his mind. Early flight to Cleveland, TV taping, meetings, interviews. A full day planned to the minute. His assistant is already texting about time limits. What time is your surgery, champ? 7 in the morning. Cena makes a decision that will change everything. I'll be here. I promise. Emma's face lights up. For a moment, she looks like any 7-year-old girl, excited about something special. Really? You'll really be here? Champions keep their promises, Cena says. And you're a champion too. The next morning, 6:45 a.m. Cena stands outside the operating room and scrubs, having canceled everything in Cleveland. His phone buzzes constantly, with angry calls from WWE management, but he ignores them all. Emma is wheeled out on a gurney, looking impossibly small under the hospital blankets. When she sees Cena, her face transforms. You came, she whispers. Told you champions keep promises. He walks alongside the gurney. Remember what we talked about? Being brave means doing the right thing even when you're scared. That's right. And what are you about to do? The right thing. Getting surgery so I can get better. So that makes you brave, Emma says with certainty. At the operating room doors, Cena has to stop. Only family allowed beyond this point. But Emma reaches out, grabs his hand with surprising strength. John, she says, using his first name for the first time. Will you wait for me? I'll be right here when you wake up, he promises. The surgery takes 6 hours. Cena sits in the waiting room the entire time, making phone calls, rescheduling everything, dealing with frustrated executives who don't understand why he's prioritizing one sick child over corporate obligations. But Cena understands something they don't. Emma isn't just another Make-A-Wish kid. She's teaching him what his "never give up" slogan actually means. It's not about winning wrestling matches. It's about showing up when people need you most. When Emma wakes up in recovery, groggy from anesthesia, the first thing she sees is Cena sitting beside her bed. "Hey, champ," he says softly. "You did it. Surgery's over. Doctors say it went perfectly." Emma tries to smile, but she's exhausted. "I was brave," she whispers. "The bravest. I'm proud of you." Emma's parents are crying, relieved tears, grateful tears. Miguel shakes Cena's hand, unable to find words. Maria hugs him, whispers "gracias" over and over. That night, Cena makes another life-changing decision. He calls Make-A-Wish headquarters, not for publicity or corporate partnership, but to volunteer personally. Not as John Cena, the WWE superstar, but as John Felix Anthony Cena Jr., someone who wants to help. Over the next months, he visits Emma regularly, not as scheduled events, but as a friend. He's there for her good days and bad days. When chemotherapy makes her sick, when test results are scary, when she's strong enough to laugh at his terrible jokes. Emma becomes his teacher in ways she'll never understand. She shows him that real strength isn't physical. Real championship isn't about titles or accolades. Real victory is getting through each day with grace, helping others when you can, and never giving up on hope. 6 months later, Emma's cancer goes into remission. A year later, she's declared cancer-free. 5 years later, she starts middle school, healthy and strong. By then, Cena has granted over 200 Make-A-Wish requests, more than any other celebrity at that time. He'll eventually reach 650 wishes granted, still the record today. But it all started with Emma, with a 7-year-old girl who taught him what being a champion really means. Today, Emma is 25 years old, married, healthy. She still has that toy championship belt, now displayed in her apartment. Cena still visits when he's in Florida, still calls her champ. In interviews, when people ask about his Make-A-Wish work, Cena always says the same thing. "People think I'm helping these kids, but they're helping me. They're teaching me what strength looks like." What Emma taught Cena in those 3 minutes by her hospital bed changed the trajectory of his life. She didn't just ask for his autograph. She asked him to be better than his character, to be real when reality was scariest. And in responding to her courage with his own, John Cena discovered that the most important championship he'd ever hold wouldn't be made of gold. It would be made of moments like these, when showing up matters more than showing off. The last time they spoke, Emma told him something that still makes him emotional. "Thank you for teaching me to be brave, John. But mostly, thank you for letting me teach you something too." That's what real champions do. They don't just win. They help others win too. 3 minutes with a 7-year-old girl taught John Cena the difference. And that difference has rippled through 650 wishes granted and counting, touching thousands of lives with one simple truth: never give up on each other.